All season long, the NFC North has featured some of the best teams in the NFL. So it's fitting that the best game of the week is the Green Bay Packers going to Skull Vikings and playing in a divisional matchup. We have to kick this off with the king of the North himself. Jay Gruden, break this one down for us.
I am the king of the North. I love the North. I like both these teams a lot. I mean, Minnesota, they just, whatever it takes to win, let's just win this week. Ugly, pretty. We'll throw the ball. We'll hand the ball off to Aaron Jones. However we need to win. We'll create turnovers with my man Van Ginkel. Whoever. We'll do celebrations in the end zone. We'll imitate white chicks. Do that dance. Remember that dance? Love that dance. I mean, they are just finding ways to win. And Sam Darnold, say what you want, he's getting better and better. I mean, they got great weapons on the outside. They have a fine tight end, have a good running game. Defensively, we all know about Brian Flores' opportunistic style, his attacking style. They have a decent secondary. They run to the football. They create havoc. You're scared as a quarterback. You see all these blitz tapes. Then you get out there and you're thinking, my God, is it cover 0? Oh, nope, it's cover 2. Oh, and you're hurt, and you throw a pick. I mean, he's got the defense. They're doing everything right now. Offense, defense, and special teams. They complement each other extremely well. Kevin O'Connell, coach of the year, most likely. He deserves it. He's done a hell of a job with that offense and really bringing Sam Darnold along to a quarterback who's going to probably get paid a lot of money next year. Hats off to him. And then the Packers. What can you say about the Packers? Matt LaFleur has done an incredible job with this team as well. Offensive line is getting better and better. Josh Jacobs is pounding you in submission. And then you got this guy named Jordan Love. He can spin it with the best of them. A good young receiving core and a defense is very opportunistic as well. They're playing extremely well. So both teams really don't have a magnified weakness that you can just say, hey, here's how we're going to attack. No, they're pretty good at that. Okay, let's try it. No, they're pretty good at that. Now we have to play good fundamental football. Possess the football, be good on third down, be good in the red zone. Don't turn the ball over and don't have a lot of penalties. Both these teams have a great opportunity to not only win this game, but to go on and win a lot of games in the playoffs and possibly go to the Super Bowl.
But you look at the Green Bay Packers, Colt, and you look for that signature win they had. They lost to the Eagles early in the season. They lost to the Vikings, lost to the Lions twice. All the big boys in the NFC have seemed to knock out the Packers. This is their last chance to get a signature win. What do the Packers need to do to get that done?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought they looked good last week when they went up to Seattle and got after them, right? I think the big thing this week is that the Packers play Monday night, so it's going to be a short week going over to Minnesota. That's not necessarily in their favor. But I certainly think the Packers can go up to Minnesota and beat Minnesota. I think they're playing good football. I think they found their run game. I think they found their balance. I think Jordan Love is, not turning the ball over as much as he was early in the year. He's got good weapons around him. He trusts him. He's a gunslinger. He has that mentality of, I'm about to go out there and sling it around and push it down the field and make big plays. And so can they beat Minnesota? Absolutely. Would this be a signature win? For sure. But I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they're set there. I just think this will be a divisional, hard-fought matchup in Minnesota that, sure, I definitely think the Packers can go in there and find a way to win. I think they will.
AQ, the Vikings went up to Lambeau and beat the Packers 31-29 in their last matchup. Jordan Love threw it 54 times. He only rushed it with Josh Jacobs 9 times. Now, this is going to pain Colt and Jay to hear this. They probably need to get Josh Jacobs a little bit more involved with this offensive line. Realistically, how many times do you want to see Josh Jacobs touching the ball if the Green Bay Packers are going to have a chance to win?
I think he needs to touch the ball 25 to 30 times a game, period. And that could include screens, right? Like at the end of the day, it could include screens, but he needs to have the ball in his hands 25 to 30 times. And then what does that do to the quarterback? Takes a little bit of the pressure off him. It allows the play action to happen. It allows some of the other stuff, some of the jet sweeps, some of the around reverses to Jalen Reed, right? It's all those things that go into this. But this team is damn good. I actually said last week, I think the Green Bay Packers can go win this damn thing. They have played all the kingpins tough. Now, have they won them all? No, they haven't. But they're in it. And they played the Lions to the finish line in both games. This one was a close game the first time. Every single game, even the Eagles, right? Jordan gets his knee banged up at the end of the game, but they're in it, and they didn't even come close to playing their best football at that point in the season, right? This team has only gotten better and better and better. Kevin O'Connell, on the other side, has his hands full. He has his hands full because they got a damn good defense, too. And so when you look at this, the biggest thing that Green Bay needs to do this week is stay on track. And we talk about this every time you mention Brian Flores' defense on the other side. You have to stay on track because the minute you get into 3rd and 6+, what comes? 7 up, and then you don't know what's coming. Harrison Smith's coming. This guy's coming. Simulated pressure. They're rushing 3. They're rushing 4. They're rushing 5. They might be rushing 7. Who knows what they're doing? But you got to win on 1st and 2nd down this week.
Yeah, and then going over to that Vikings team, until they make a deep run in the playoffs this year and they shut everybody up, hands up. I know they're 13-2. If there was like a list of my Mount Rushmore of biggest bad 13-2 teams, like I think I'm putting the Minnesota Vikings on there. I don't think they're making noise in the playoffs. The Packers, we seem to have them jump the Vikings every time we talk about them, even though they have a worse record. Give me some reasons, Jay, why teams should fear the Minnesota Vikings when they line up and play them in the playoffs, and how far do you think they're going to go in the playoffs?
Well, they should fear them because they have the best wide receiver combo in the NFL, and Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Now getting Hawkinson back, he's one of the best tight ends of finding holes in zones, of getting open. Aaron Jones is one hell of a back. Their balance is extraordinary. Kevin O'Connell calls a very good, sound game. Their quarterback is making good decisions and delivering the ball on time and accurately. That's why they have a very good defense. Brian Flores, we just mentioned, they can get after you. They have different types of guys that get home with edge pressure. They can drop. They can cover. They can play zone drops. They can do a lot of different things on defense that confuse you. They play hard. They play physical, and they're sound. That's why you should fear them. And they can go as far as they want to, as long as they play well. And Sam Darnold protects the damn football, and Aaron Jones too. He had some fumbling issues there in the middle of the season, but they got to protect the football, play great defense, continue to tackle well, and great things will happen because Justin Jefferson is a monster. Jordan Addison is unbelievable.
The Vikings have it all, and so do we. So do we here on this Clean Pocket channel. And as we continue to grow, we can only go as far as our subscribers and our supporters take us. So stop what you're doing right now. Hit subscribe, hit like. Tell me who the best wide receiver duo in football is. Is it Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, or is it somebody else? All right, let's get back into this episode here. Colt, you look at the Chiefs, you look at the Vikings, and everyone's like, oh, the refs are helping them. They're getting lucky here. At what point do we stop saying these teams just get lucky and the refs are on their side and start saying these are just two really damn good football teams that you don't want to play when it comes time for the playoffs?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Listen, good teams catch breaks. Good teams, the ball bounces your way. You can say what you want. They make their field goals at the very end of the game to walk it off, which Minnesota's done multiple times, and so has the Chiefs. So at the end of the day, Jay nailed it. They got a good defense. There are some holes there. Some people have exploited them a little bit, but overall, you better be ready for an aggressive, physical, like not knowing where all these pressures are coming from type of game. You better be on your P's and Q's across the board. And then on offense, you got to cover Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. They are at the top of the league when it comes to 1-2 punch receivers. Jamar Chase, Higgins, there's some teams that are up there, but Justin Jefferson is the best in the league, and hands down. And Sam Darnold's playing good, efficient football, getting them the ball in a lot of different ways, down the field, screens, accurate in like catch and run situations. TJ Hawkinson's playing good. So, I mean, listen, Minnesota can beat anybody, but so can Green Bay. Listen, AQ, you nailed it. Green Bay's competitive every single week. Jordan Love was banged up the first time they played. He had the tight groin or whatever it was. It was kind of there was some rain or some snow or something in that game. So listen, they're playing indoors. It's a fair fight. Your Skull's going to be out, and other than home field advantage, it's time to play ball. And I think this will be a fun one to watch. Late season divisional matchup. These two teams know each other extremely well, and I think the Packers. If Josh Jacobs comes out and he touches the ball, like AQ said, 25 to 30 times, whether that's all runs or a couple screens or a couple checkdowns, I think the Packers have a chance to win this one.
100%.
Want to win money watching football? With Underdog, you could win up to 1,000 times your cash just by picking higher or lower on your favorite player's stats, like whether or not your team's running back will score a touchdown this weekend. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars on Underdog. Will you be next? Sign up now to get a free pick for your first cash entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Download the Underdog app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com to get started today.
AQ, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. At home, with the skull chant going, are the Minnesota Vikings the best defense in the NFL?
No.
All right, simple as that. Now let's move on. No, give me a little bit of a why or why not.
Nobody said that.
Our notes did, Jay. Our notes did.
I think they're a very good defense. I just don't think they're the best defense. And I think the other thing too is they do everything very well. They don't do anything exceptional, right? Like at the end of the day. And I think that's the biggest reason. When you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm not sitting there saying that they're the number one defense. The biggest thing that they do so well is they always get big plays at critical times.
Yeah.
And I think that is huge moving forward as we go. And I think that's part of the reason. I mean, again, this is a much more deeper answer than I think you probably needed or wanted, but they're just not the best defense.
Yeah, I was ready to move on if you said no. I mean, Jay said no. I think Colt said no. Let's just move on to our picks then, all right? Let's let Jay go first, so maybe we can make up some ground on this game because Jay's still in the lead. Jay's got a 2-game lead. Jay, who do you have in this one? Packers at Minnesota.
Well, I picked against the Vikings going to Seattle. That was an idiotic pick. Vikings won 27-24. I'm going to stick with the Packers. I think going to Seattle, flying all the way back home, it's going to be rough for them. Although the Packers are playing, it's going to be a short week for them. It's two great teams, man. I just think I'm going to take Jordan Love to get that signature win that you guys are talking about to elevate them as one of the best wild card teams in football.
AQ, are you going to go? Are we doing a clean sweep here? Who do you got?
I got the Packers as well. I mean, listen, I just said it a second ago. They're my pick to win the Super Bowl at this point. They're the healthiest and the best team in football right now, in my opinion. And I think they got damn good coaching. I think they got a damn good quarterback. They got all the makings to do it. I'm also going to say this. Who gives a shit about a signature win? Nobody gives a shit about a signature win. You got to win 12, 13 games. Who gives a shit if it's worth whoever? You can only play.
You only need one, right? You only need one, the last one. If you win that last one, that's a signature win.
That's right.
By the way, you guys know who's questionable, who might play this week?
Oh, God.
Jair Alexander, baby. Justin Jefferson kryptonite. Let's go.
Colt.
Oh man, listen, I said I really do think the Packers can go to Minnesota and win this game. But at the end of the day, you got me going with the skull chant. You got me going with the home field advantage. And I think I'm going to stay. I think I'm going to stay Minnesota here. I think they're good on turf. I think Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, that combo is hard to stop, even if you do have Jair Alexander. But I do think it's going to be a tough sledding, like heavy in the trenches matchup, and the team who doesn't turn the ball over is going to win. But I do feel like Minnesota is going to pull this one out.
Man, I've been kind of talking smack on Minnesota all year. I'm like, Sam Darnold's going to regress at some point. I think I think the Green Bay Packers are playing their best football right now. They're healthy. Josh Jacobs looks good. The offensive line is playing great. Got a good defense. I got to go Packers. As much as I want to go against Gruden, I've agreed on him with everything today. I'm actually cheering for you, Colt. I'm cheering for you to get this win and get closer, but I'm going Packers.
Well, listen, they're going to be, 1 day fresher. Like I said, the Packers play tomorrow night. Then they got to travel to Minnesota. Not that matters this time of year. You know what's at stake. They're all playing for the playoffs, for the matchups, for the seeding. That doesn't matter. But I do think that I do think it's an edge to Minnesota that they play them at home, and I think they're going to come out on top.